Welcome to Golden Goal. Yes, we are back. You've had a week or so of pre-recorded shows as we were away for a little break, but we are back now with another live show. Welcome to Golden Goal. There we go. Sorted out my technical issue there. So, yes, we are back with a Premier League review show to talk about the weekend's Premier League action. As I've just returned from sunny Virginia. Now, we will have George at some point, hopefully, but for now, it's just me and you, sir. How are you doing, Abdi?
Hello. Yes, you're gonna have to settle for me for now until the gorgeous one shows up. But yeah, I'm not too. Ah,
We'll talk
we'll
about
get into it.
we'll
We'll
get
get
into
into
all
it.
of this, and there is plenty to get into. Let's just
Uh, yeah,
don't
yeah,
worry.
there is.
I'll spare you. I'll spare you this just yet. We'll talk Wolves Liverpool first. So we'll talk the twelve
Uh,
thirty game.
Depressing as well.
Depressing.
They should have lost.
Yes, but at least it wasn't your own team.
Uh,
I tried. Look, I'm clutching at straws to try and make this easier for you, mate. You know. Um,
okay.
so yeah, it finished Wolves 1, Liverpool 3. The third goal being given an own goal, I believe, after the game's actually finished. And of course, Wolves scoring first and giving Liverpool fans a heart attack. So yes, win for Liverpool, I guess still. But yeah, questions remain. What were your thoughts, Abdi, on the game?
Yeah. Questions do still remain a little bit, but this is Liverpool in the current guise. They are still, regardless of no Trent, no Van Dijk, their midfield being a bit off, and their players looking a bit out of it from international break. They still got the job done, um, and they've got that in them to just grind out a game and turn it around. Even the game against Newcastle, they were down to 10 men, and they still found a way to win. So at this moment in time, Liverpool, they're doing what they need to do, getting those 3 points, keeping it going, and staying close to the top of the pack. And they're building and getting the momentum rolling. As for Wolves, it's not point. They had a couple opportunities to take the game away from Liverpool and probably should have, but they didn't. Um, I would say Pedro Neto looked very electric in that game and caused a lot of problems for Liverpool. Um, but yeah, they Wolves just they finished one chance off, which was a good goal to finish off. But other opportunities that they failed to take eventually cost them, and Liverpool are clinical. So if you give them a chance, they will take it, and they'll take it in three spells because they got three in the end, which was disappointing. But you know, it's what happens, I guess.
When it comes to Liverpool, I mean, should fans be worried? I mean, Liverpool are getting the results, but there still just seems a lot of people seem to be getting really concerned about how quickly Liverpool concede goals at the moment, even though they come from behind to win in the end. Should that be a concern?
It it could be, but I don't think it will be. They're still getting the job done regardless. Um, they've got that know-how about them. Um, and whenever you got Mo Salah on the pitch, and Luis Diaz coming back, and Jota and Nunes, their attacking options are just plentiful. They've got so much in attack that it's disgusting. So they're bound to get goals. Defensively, there's questions, or there will be questions. Matip and Gomez were their back line with Robertson and Kwanzaa, I think his name was, making his Premier League debut. So yeah, it's sticky one in terms of their defense. Their midfield is a bit still for me. For now, they're just getting the job done. And that's all that really matters. But that costs them, but it doesn't look like it at the moment. So yeah.
Well, there we go, Abdi. Cheers for that. Now we can hear from someone else. Fashionably late, is it, George? Good evening.
Evening, guys. How we doing? Sorry, I've just come off a work meeting. So
Busy man.
Gorgeous
busy
one
man.
has arrived. Hello, my friend. How you
He's
doing?
flying around the country while he's doing meetings until late, eh? George, we're talking Wolves Liverpool, so Abdi's given his views. Wolves 1, Liverpool 3. Wolves scoring first. Liverpool still winning with an own goal being changed to an own goal after the game finished. What's your thoughts on the game? Go on, give us your opinions.
So I didn't really watch it because I was playing cricket at the time, and well, I actually weren't playing cricket then. That was when I was having a concussion check. But
God.
yeah. But I heard I read a bit of the stuff on BBC. I thought it was standard. I thought Liverpool. I was a bit surprised that Wolves took the lead, but I weren't surprised that Wolves actually scored because Liverpool defensively are poor. I was really annoyed that goal got disallowed because I had Salah and he was on the assist, so I would have had my hat trick of assists if that had happened. But never mind. Still don't know. I'm still not really that impressed with Liverpool like as much. I know they're winning and doing the job, but I don't know. It's just standard 3-1, isn't it? I was happy. Like I thought Harvey Elliott got a goal, didn't he? No, he didn't. It was an own goal, wasn't it? Got the assist, so it's good to see him playing again. But yeah, standard for Liverpool, really.
Well, let's move on to Sheffield United's trip to Spurs, which Spurs pretty much won in added time. Well, most of the game happened in added time, pretty much. Abdi, what did you think? What did you think of that? I mean, the new added time rules and such definitely helped top there.
Yeah, it helped them big time. I didn't catch the game because I was on at the same time as another game that we'll get into shortly. But yeah, I saw the notification pop up that Sheffield United scored. And I was talking to someone who is a Spurs fan, and they were trying to get onto me about the United game. And I was just like, Sheffield United just scored. And yeah, they disappeared after that. But then after the game's finished, the United game, I see Spurs 1, Sheffield United 1. I was like, cool. And then another notification pops up and it's 2-1, and I'm like, wow, okay, they got away with one there. And Richarlison scored for the first time in forever and a day. I don't remember last time he scored a goal for Spurs in the Premier League. Maybe that was the first one that was allowed. But yeah, it's they did get away with one, and they probably should have won anyway. Sheffield United they're not that good, are they? So yeah, Big Ange does it again. We'll see what he does this weekend, because that is the real test for me in terms of how Spurs are this season. So I still think they'll lose, but yeah.
So, George, we'll come to you. Obviously, there's a big Spurs test this coming weekend, which we'll talk about on the preview show. But, I mean, Tottenham very much nearly lost that game. And for a team that's been doing so well, you can look at it and say it's not really a surprise. It's happened before almost. Tottenham in the good form and then losing to a team that no one expect them to lose to. And they won it in the end. Lucky boys with the added time. What did you think?
Yeah, I same saw it was 1-0 Sheffield United. I thought, oh, welcome back, Tottenham are back. And then they got two late goals. Got two late goals in.
Only have scored.
God, that don't impress me. I got Matt Turner. Never mind.
Oh no. Matty boy. Oh, okay. Sorry. Go on.
So yeah, I suppose. So with this new added-on rule, I get why they're adding all the time on, but I don't. I think in every game, I don't think it's as practical, and they don't all figure. Those will come to the Arsenal game later, unless you've spoke about it already. But
Absolutely not. That's the main event.
so I don't know. Yeah, test is a big word. That's Sunday. Yeah. No, I'm chilled.
I'll be there no matter what.
So I think Sheffield United, they're not very good, but they've pushed teams. Like Sheffield City only just beat them. And I know people can say, yeah, but City should have scored more, but they didn't at the end of the day. So I still think they'll go down, Sheffield United, but and Spurs, all I can say, they can keep their pasta Costa. But yeah, bring on Sunday.
Bring it on.
Bring on Sunday indeed. Yes, Burnley have scored, so they are 1-0 up against Forest. Okay, we'll move on to the next game. Abdi, I've spared you long enough, but I can't do it anymore, right?
This is going to brighten my
Fine.
day up.
Yeah, it will do to me as well, man.
There were plenty of goals in that game. Seagulls mainly. It finished Manchester United 1, Brighton 3. I mean, I don't know if I'd call the one goal the consolation goal even for you guys. Abdi, what's happened? Where's it all gone wrong? What's going on? Or what on earth is going on at your club?
Mentally, just everything just seems to be going wrong. The injuries just keep piling up on us in terms of personnel. Wan-Bissaka is now down for spell on the sideline. I think someone said maybe 2 months, which is yoinks if that's true. But he had like a hamstring injury. That's what I heard. So in terms of the actual game itself, first 20 minutes, I thought, yeah, we're doing well. We're showing or playing very well, putting Brighton on the back foot, limiting them to barely anything really, creating some good chances. And then they score. And of all people, if you ask me, name 2 people who'd score against United that weekend, I would have given you 2 of the goal scorers. And that is Danny Welbeck, obviously, and Pascal flipping Gross. He always shows up against United. And as soon as I saw him, I was like, he's scoring. And he did score. Yeah, it was not fun to watch. Brighton just sort of nullified everything that we were doing after the 20 minutes that we had. They were like, all right, we figured you out. How about this? And they just sort of switched up tactically and exploited our weakness, which was no right winger, because we are completely out of stock, you know? So I don't know. It's Hoyland played well, as well as he could in that game, I guess. Still looked bright. Fans weren't happy when Ten Hag took him off at the 60th minute. At the time, I was like, we're losing and we're chasing the game, and he looks like our brightest player. But at the same time, I wasn't surprised to see him go off because he is coming back from an injury, and we're trying to save him for this weekend. Well, not this weekend. It's Wednesday, away at the Allianz. God help us. But yeah, fans weren't happy about that one, and the fans aren't happy in general in terms of. I've seen a lot of reacting with Ten Hag. Yes, to take criticism. I feel like tactically he did not adapt in that game to combat Brighton. I felt like a lot of people are talking about how bad United were. I think that it wasn't a case of how bad United were. It's a case of how good Brighton are. As a team, as a squad, as a collective, every man knew what they were doing to a T, and they carried out exactly what their manager wanted. You know, they're a unit, they're a squad, and they're all connected and unified. You know, um, so I would like to just say to Brian, well done, congratulations. You outplayed us, you outclassed us, and that should never really be happening when a team's coming to Old Trafford. But it's 2023, and this is Man United, I guess. So it's sad to say, but yeah, I'm not gonna say the season's over for us because it's only 5 games in, and the teams that we faced so far have been quality opposition in terms of Brighton and Arsenal, and Tottenham have their managerial bounce. So yeah, it's those are the teams that we lost against. I'm counting on us trying to turn it around now from moving forwards because we've got Burnley away, Palace in the cup in the league, both at home, so we should be getting through those 2 games. I think we've got Sheffield United at some point coming up, Brentford at home. So those are games I'm looking at, and I'm like, this is the opportunity to start turning. So we'll look forwards, try not to move backwards. Let's ignore Wednesday because that's just a formality at this point. Yeah. What more can I say?
Yes, I mean, there's a lot of things to definitely talk about there. You know, fans again, are they overreacting? Is it the manager's
Yes.
fault?
Yes.
Is it? I mean, there's a lot of situations there. I think what's going on behind the scenes at Manchester United is not helping the club in general. A lot of people say,
Absolutely.
but it shouldn't affect the club, but it will. These things have a huge impact on the club.
Yep. Morale, bitter players sitting on the sidelines, their mentality and their mood will slip in the squad, bad vibes, you know. So you need to have a harmonious dressing room direction. And if you have a couple players in there that aren't and are causing issues and dragging the mood down, then it's going to be a very difficult situation. And everything that's going on with that stupid sale process making it any easier. So we don't know what direction United's supposed to be going in. It's all a bit wishy-washy and a bit of a mess, but I wouldn't say at the moment it's all doom and gloom. There is still time to turn it around. I'm not saying everything is crisis this and crisis that. Yes, there are a lot of issues within that club, but it is not the end of the world at this moment in time. There's still a long way to go in this season, and we can turn it around. So that's what I'm counting on. That's what I'm hoping for. But my optimism is not so high. But we move forward.
Okay, George, let's come to you. What's your thoughts on well, the Man United game and the result and the scale of it, the impact of it?
I don't even know where to start. I just think Man United are a mess, personally, on and off the pitch. I agree with Abdi, they've had no luck at all. Obviously, they've had the stuff with Sancho, they've had the injuries, they've had the Greenwood stuff, they've had the Anthony stuff. I've never known a team to have all so much problems like off the pitch at once.
More club statements than goals.
I was going to say they've had more club statement than wins, but there you go. So.
Oh yeah, well, that's actually true. That is actually true.
No, I tell you, like Man United's PR system, like people, they're on bonuses this season. Do I think it's a Glazers' fault? Yeah, but I will say the Glazers are not the one leaving Brighton players running through on goal. But is it the Glazers' fault them players are playing? Yeah, probably. So, I think people got to respect Brighton as well. Like you got to think they didn't even play their first team.
That's taking a piss as well.
Yeah, like they left with Stupinian out. Ferguson was on the bench. I think
He
March.
wasn't fit. He didn't play.
Yeah, so like they're free. I think there was a couple
I
others
said
as
this when I
well.
saw this Brighton lineup. I was very surprised. I thought United might have a chance.
Nah,
Did
well-oiled machine. You can take
I,
those players out, and they'll still keep going.
when I saw Danny Welbeck score, I thought, oh, here we go again.
It's always him.
Yeah.
It's always him.
I don't even know where to start with United. Like, obviously they have injuries, and I'm fully aware of that. But Casemiro, I don't know if he played, but he hasn't
He
impressed.
did.
He
He's
has not
been
impressed me
poor.
all season.
He has been poor.
Bruno didn't. Hoyland, like fair play to him, he tried his best. Like I wouldn't say I get people saying, "Oh, the fans booed Ten Hag," but that's because it was such a crap decision. Like I understand, right? You rest. Well, for me, I wouldn't be resting him for Wednesday because realistically, if Man United play how they are, well, they could be buying Arsenal all over again.
No, I think it'll be more United Arsenal. 82 cents. I'm scared, bro.
That's what I mean. Like, so it's like the way United defend. Oh, Harry boy, he could have like a field day. But I don't.
Half we're talking
Selling
about
the
Maguire.
club. Where do they check? Apart from selling the club, short term is brilliant for Man United, but it don't change nothing really. Not
It does, mate. It does.
mate. Them players you've got are rubbish. Like, I'm sorry. There's
We
whether it.
can move forwards once the club's sold. There is no direction if the club's not sold. We're just sort of stuck in a vicious
Problem
cycle
is,
of
Ab, let's be honest here. Let's
stacking
be honest.
managers,
Be
bringing
honest
in
here.
new players that don't fit
The
a
club's not going to get
specific
sold.
system.
It's staying. The club's been taken off the
It
market.
hasn't been
So
taken off the market. That's
it
just
has
one report.
multiple
No, it
times.
hasn't. It hasn't. It hasn't. That's one report from one, but we don't know. Genuinely, we don't know what is going on with the whole process because you'll get some reports saying that the club's been sold to Qatar, the club's been sold to Jim Ratcliffe, the club has been taken off the market, the club isn't for sale, the process is still ongoing, this and that and that. I personally believe the process is still ongoing, but I don't think the club's been taken off the market, nor has it been sold to any specific party at this moment in time. I just think the Glazers are just holding out for as much money as they can. And they will probably wait as long as they can to get as much as they can. And whether that is just waiting another couple years, I would not be surprised. They are just greedy leeches who just want to suck money. We are a cash cow, nothing more, nothing less. They do not have any desire or love towards this club to see it be successful. At least with the Cronkies, they are doing everything that they can to try and make Arsenal a successful club. You know, they're facilitating Edu and Arteta. There's an actual football project going on over there. There's a football plan and recruitment. They're getting everything right. They're doing what they need to do, and they've turned everything around from what they were doing with Arsenal. You know, United, they Glazers don't give a shit.
I agree with that. What I meant with the Glazers, obviously, them selling makes Man United better, but them players you've got are useless, mate. Like I'm not saying like I've watched Man United for years. Obviously, you've watched them a bit more closer, but none of them players in that back four will get anywhere near even poor Alex Ferguson team. For me personally, I think the only good players you've got are Rashford. And there's a couple others I can't think off the top of my head. But that's what I'm trying to say is Ten Hag doesn't help himself either with his complaining and excuses after every game. Like, and that's why I think that's why United get laughed at a bit with it all. Do I feel sorry for United fans?
Probably
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. No, I do. I do. If I'm being as a proper football fan, like, I'm not going to lie. Arsenal and Man United have had that rivalry for years. I know United fans that hate Arsenal that much. They'd rather see City win the league. Like, I'm not really. I don't really understand that, but I do feel sorry because there are Man United fans that have to go through and watch that crap every week. It's like Goldbridge said. Like, people act surprised, but there's been so many Sunday mornings that we felt like that.
Mm.
So, do I think? I think what would set a bit of a trend and be a bit more alarming is if they lose to Burnley. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it won't happen, but I can see it happening. I can. I just don't know. Man United remind me of Arsenal when Emery went. But the only difference is obviously the Kroenkes and the Glazers. Man United need owners and starting from the top down to the bottom, starting from the top going to the bottom, a football project, and they don't have it. I don't even think Ten Hag is that the right person because we could go into a complete different show.
I was going to say, yeah, because who is the right
Good.
person?
There's a lot of people that will say Ten Hag is he the right man for this, for that. I think you should take criticism for the game on Saturday in terms of the decisions he made tactically and assessment of it. He was outplayed and outclassed by De Zerbi's team, and yeah, he should take responsibility for that game. But long term, I feel like I know what he wants to try and do, but at the moment, I don't think we have the personnel to do what he wants to do.
That's right.
So maybe he has to tweak his tactic and what he's trying to do and just sort of sit back a bit more, make that back line a bit more solid in terms of defensively. And if you have to just counter on teams and win games like that and grind out results, then so be it. But at this moment in time, you just got to get those results.
That's what I mean. It don't matter how you win. Like, oh, I know we'll come to Arsenal later, but Arsenal haven't been great this season, in my opinion. But it's all about the wins. It's about the victories. Like all these people say, "Oh, but they've not performed well." It don't matter to me.
Just got to get it done.
If my team played crap and won 1-0 every game and won the league, I won't care.
This is exactly it. And I've said this many times. Many football fans who want their team to play pretty football, it doesn't actually give you anything.
Apart from Barcelona,
would you rather win, or would you rather win playing boring football, or would you rather lose playing pretty football?
Yeah, but apart from Barcelona, they're the only team I know that played amazing football and won something. Maybe United and Arsenal when they won the league, and maybe City, but it's not actually that many teams that it actually works with. And just going back to United, I think it's a bit of a dramatic thing. Our season's over and all that shit, but that's just
the media just driving
and it's
agenda thing.
And it's today's football fans, to be honest. Like, but
Knives out when it's United, man. It's knives out when it's United.
Yeah, it's not as bad as us, mate. They even
no. United's a whole different scale, my friend. United, literally everyone knows about it when it's United.
I think and just going back to Brighton, like I don't think many teams will beat Brighton. I honestly believe that.
I'm in that same category, mate. If Brighton win the Champions League this season, I feel like they could go deep.
Brighton win the
That's
Champions
not even
League.
a joke. No, they're not. They're in the Europa League. But if they were in the Champions League, I feel like they could go deep, like quarter-final, semi-final. Well, that's how deep I think they could go.
I think the way they're playing and the players are brought in, I wouldn't rule them out winning the Europa League. But everyone thought they was going to struggle, and they had that dodgy game against West Ham. But apart from that, they've bounced back from that, smashed Newcastle.
That was a blip. That was a blip.
Who everyone raves on about. And then they've beat United. Whether United are crap this season, they're still playing United at United. So yeah,
it's an interesting one. Definitely. Fair play to Brighton, though. They carry on and certainly doing as much as they can.
I will say quickly about fair play to the young kid that scored for United. I know it was in a not a great thing, but at least
Oh, but
he,
it's
What
the
was
goals.
that?
he showed he got his goal. I suppose was it Hannibal or something?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that was uh, shame Hoyland's goal had to be ruled out. Oh, I was sad when I saw that VAR take it away from us.
In a very different game.
Could have been a very different game because it would have been 1-1 at that point, but sad.
And indeed, we'll move on to one more Saturday game before we hop over to Sunday, and that is West Ham 1, Manchester City 3. George, West Ham teased us for a little bit, but at the end of the day, I mean,
They teased us.
City got the job done.
No, I thought City were going to win. I tell you, who had a really rubbish game as Haaland. The amount of chances he missed. I know he scored, but he could have had an hat-trick. But West Ham got a good side. They started well. James Ward-Prowse I think he thought he was Robbie Fowler from the 90s, Ward-Prowse at one stage. But when you look at that Man City team, it's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Not fair.
No, is it who did they bring in? Gok? I can't say his name. Doku.
Doku.
I keep
Jeremy
thinking
Doku.
that. Yeah, he sounds like the bloke out of Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, they got him, and obviously they've still got like De Bruyne and people like that out. But yeah,
Grealish, Stones, Kovacic.
West Ham done all right. Like it could have been more, probably should have been more, but I don't know. I don't know what it is with City, and maybe it's because I support a team that's chasing them, but they can be got at, and I just don't think teams do it. Obviously, we know attacking
I think
teams.
teams are afraid to get at them when they know it can happen.
They can concede. They've proved that, and I know their attacking side will rip you to shreds and probably bury you, but like West Ham have scored against them, Sheffield United have scored against them, right? I think like near enough every team has. So I'm not. They're a brilliant side and probably still the best team in the world, but they're not everyone keeps saying they're miles and miles ahead. I don't know. I just don't know. I think the game that shows me how close teams are is in October when Arsenal play Man City for me. But
I'll be there with my popcorn.
yeah, I'm not saying Arsenal will go and win. I'm not saying that, but
I hope they do.
yeah, I do. I just think Man City. I don't know what I'm saying, but I don't think they're the unbeatable.
They can be got at, and they can be. They are not invincible.
They will not go invincible this season.
No.
Abdi,
let's get.
If they do.
No, it's not happening.
My
Not
thoughts. City just doing what they need to do and getting the job done. I think no one's surprised about the result. Everyone saw West Ham score and they were like, West Ham, stop it. Do not tease us. And they were like, okay, we won't tease you. And they just got it over with. City came off out of traps, flying. Doku got his first goal for them, I believe. And then, yeah, the robot and doing robot things eventually finding back of the net, but took him a while. So, yeah, not much else I can really say. City have kind of just bore me. I don't really care about what they do too much, so yeah, that's about it.
You're more worried about West Ham, aren't you?
Yeah, be more worried about them.
I was going to say the way they're playing.
Doing well for themselves.
Or Sheffield.
Stop it.
Or Luton.
Or Chelsea.
Leave Chelsea alone. We're coming on to them.
We're coming on to them right now, and to be honest, I can't blame him. So Chelsea 0, Bournemouth 0. I did not see the game, obviously, because I was across the pond in rainy Virginia. But let's just say this: I've had some fans say pretty much very simply, we're nicer to watch, but still don't produce the results. And as we said earlier, George, pretty football doesn't get you the results. So it's all good for us to be nicer to watch, maybe, but the finishing's still a problem. The same old issues, and realistically, my simple opinion on that is I'm happy that we're nicer to watch, but we need results. However, what I will also say is, once again, Chelsea fans overreacting, booing the team off. Look, like, you can say that we should be beating teams like Bournemouth, but that's just self-entitlement.
Yeah.
Currently,
Absolutely.
we are in a transition project. We are a mess. We were a mess last season, and that mess is not going to take 5 game weeks to sort out. So, in my opinion, yeah, not a great result, but at least we didn't lose, is the way I look at it. A win would be nice, but clean sheets, a draw, points, and Bournemouth, I don't think they're the worst team if they really put a performance together. But yeah, George, what's your thoughts?
I think Chelsea's problem is in that final third. They don't know what to do. They've got no confidence at all. Defensively, I think you're a lot stronger under Pochettino. And I'm happy Gusto got me another 6 points. I'll take that. I think the problem is Chelsea have not beat nearly a top 6 team for 600 days.
Someone said they haven't been a top 15 team since April 2022, which is kind of mad if that's true. I haven't checked it myself, but
I definitely know that. I think the last team they beat was in the top half was like Spurs. So
that was. I don't remember what that was.
Yeah, I think it was last year at some point. But that's where that's my point. Like, they might be nicer to watch, but they're not nicer to watch if they're not scoring goals, are they? Jackson, mate, he's more like Robbie Jackson up front. Like he can't put anything away. Like
He's not the striking power we need. We need someone. We bought Nkunku, and that's all great, but with him being injured, we've got no proper backup for it.
No, I get that, but this is where I mean, like, you spend over £1 billion and you can't even buy a proper striker. But for me, Jackson, no. He may be someone who can come off the bench and do something, but I'm not a fan.
It's time to go.
Yeah, he's more. Yeah, he definitely ain't a thriller.
The only thing I will say is Nicholas Jackson is still young. He's only 22 years old.
There's a lot of pressure there.
At the moment, he's not impressing me, but is he a player that could develop into something good?
Yeah, he could do, but I'm just saying, Edin Nketiah looks more potent than him. Like, I think Jackson's not a striker on his own. I think he needs to play in a 2. I'm trying to even think who else Chelsea have bought, but they ain't bought another striker, have they? But apart from
we've not bought everything in the right areas. I mean, yes, okay, I'll take people's argument about spending money and not buying the player in the right position, but I will say about spending money that doesn't matter how much money you spend. You can spend a little amount of money and an investment still fail, or you can spend a large amount of money and the same could still happen.
Well, you look at it. Mudryk, you spent all that money on him, and Jesus Christ, he's awful. But then
you missed a bullet.
Yeah, we missed it. We missed a proper bullet. It's quite ironic when it was either Mudryk or Trossard battle. That was an interesting one this weekend. And then you spent not really as much money on that Gusto, and I think he's one of your most promising players.
Which hurts because I was a very big fan of him, and I wish that we had bought him.
So, don't know. I think if Chelsea get a bit of confidence going forward, then they might be right. Because everyone was like, "Oh yeah, well Chelsea they've done this against Luton," but no offense, probably Southend could probably beat Luton this season. But
yeah, it's all good saying we've beat Luton and we got a win, but as much as I'm happy about it, obviously.
Like you've got Villa.
You're going to need more than a win. You're going to win more. You're going to need more than a win against Luton to be more convincing than you were last season.
Yeah, and you've got Villa next, so have fun. I don't know. Going to Bournemouth though, because I don't want to just we'll make it about Chelsea. I thought they'd done all right. To be fair, they could have won it. To be fair, they had opportunities to win it. Kirkus at left back, I don't think he'll be at Bournemouth for long. I think one of the top teams will snap him up. Maybe in the summer. He's very, very good left back. And like playing Bournemouth is people say, it should be easy. Well, no, because Bournemouth are evolving as well.
That's only
So,
self-entitlement complex. I don't
yeah,
like this whole thing. Oh, this team will be easy and this team will be easy because they are X, Y, and Z.
yeah, the only team I think are easy this season is probably the promoted teams because I just think there's still too much of a gap. I don't know. United might be a bit easier this season. Joe,
Abdi, let's get your thoughts on the Chelsea game before we move on to the Sticky Toffee game.
Sorry, I was was actually reading that you can apply to become the new manager of Bury Football Club. I was just taking a look at that.
Which one of us wants to apply?
Dabble my hand in that.
Ten Hag's going to Bury.
I'm just gonna bury his career.
Real.
Yeah. Sorry, are we talking Chelsea Bournemouth still?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. As George said, Chelsea could not finish to save their lives. Build up, they've got it on lock. They're doing a lot better. They had none of that last year, but now they just need the finishing touch, and they haven't got that. So they need to find that. They need a striker. They need someone who's clinical. Maybe Nkunku will help, but yeah, I don't know. He's going to be out for a little bit more time. Broja is on his way back, so maybe he could be helping and rotate with Jackson. Different option, but it doesn't help that a lot of your team is also injured. I looked at your bench and it was absolutely filthy in terms of the quality of player that you had on there. I haven't got the thing on me, but if I had it on me, I'd read out who was on your bench, and you can tell me why that you didn't win that game. Because I'm not surprised that you didn't win with a bench like that, because it was something.
Chilwell was on the bench.
Here it is. I found it. There was not many tweets from Chelsea. So you had Bettinelli on the bench. You had Petrovic. Don't know who he is. Ian Matson, Ben Chilwell, Gilchrist. Yeah. Cole Palmer, David Washington, Alex Matos, Ronnie Stuter. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I can.
That's about it. And then your starting lineup was Robert Sanchez, Malo Gusto, Thiago Silva, Axel Disasi, Levi Colwill playing at left back, which is wrong. Should have been Benjamin, but we don't talk about that. Poor fantasy week, horrible. Enzo Fernandez, Conor Gallagher as your captain for some reason when Thiago Silva's on the pitch, but okay. Leslie Ugochukwu, Mikhailo Mudryk, Raheem Sterling, Nicholas Jackson. That is a lot of money spent on that team. So,
especially with Mudryk in there. So yeah, not great.
Not great at all.
At least. And yeah, Villa.
I don't think it's the end of the world for Chelsea either. In terms of,
I don't think so
I feel like a lot of people are once again blowing things out of proportion and already got the Doom Brigade out. It's going to take time. It's not going to be a quick fix for Chelsea. They're just
don't fix that sort of problem quickly, in my opinion.
No,
simple as.
No, you can't.
Okay, we move on then, George. We previewed this game on one of our pre-records, and you said going to Goodison is going to be tricky, and you feel Arsenal probably lose. They didn't lose, but it was a sticky toffee situation, mate. I think
we did it. We only did it 5 years and counting. It's done. Last time we beat Everton, Wayne Rooney scored.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, some reason they're like a really dodgy team to play. Everton.
You always
They-
catch them in a sticky situation.
They
This was
don't play.
the one time I was like, nothing
They
major's going on there.
sold the
I
club,
think you'll be fine.
like they sold the club just before the game started. So I was like,
Oh, is it done? Did it close?
basically,
I
yeah,
just
so-
saw that company gave him a sizable loan. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I think they're
Um,
going to have cash.
So obviously I thought, oh, here we go. But and then I had the team. I thought, I was happy with the team we put out. Like Raya coming for Ramsdale, with man like Fabio. After I've been banning the Fabio drum for a good while, came in
Ew.
for Havertz. Trying to think what else coming. No, that was it. I think. Yeah, so that was it. Thought we started. I'll go repeat it. We've not played that well this season. We've not been the Arsenal of last season, but we've got results. Like I'd rather be in this position and like playing nice football and losing. So we're only 2 points behind City. That can be caught up soon if we wanted to. And then the goal, the Martinelli goal. So it's all about guesswork for me with that line. Originally, I thought it was offside. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't think it was. But. The ball comes, Eddie Nketiah puts it through, it comes off the Everton defender and then goes through. I don't think you could be offside when it hits another defender. Like Gary Neville said, I nearly dropped the TV remote because he was sticking up for Arsenal for once. Like it's all guesswork, and it really is. And like, if they think it's offside, and it goes back to the Man United game with Arsenal as well.
I'm gonna have to interrupt you there.
There's another goal.
Burnley have equalised against Nottingham Forest. It's now 1-1.
Nottingham Forest have equalised.
Well, Nottingham
Callum
Forest.
Hudson-Odoi.
Wow.
Matt Turner didn't set it up, did he?
I highly doubt it.
Anyway,
I haven't got the assist come up yet, but I doubt.
worth
I'd
a
be
try.
surprised if he did. Just hoofed it up.
It goes back to the Arsenal Man United game with the same sort of similar thing. It's guesswork. Because if you're going to show all these different angles, because from one angle it'll look blatantly offside, or the other one it won't, then just stick to one thing or the other. Was the right decision made? Probably, but it obviously, I think it's one of those things. If it's for your club, you think it should be a goal. If you don't, but anyway. So we've got, and then Martinelli got injured, which is unfortunate. So I think he's out till, I think he might be back for the City game. But so that was unfortunate. And then the second half, we run the changes a bit, and then the one we saved a load of the money on. Oh, Mr. Leandro Trossard, instead of ending up with that heap of crap from Chelsea, Mudryk. Like, he put it in the back of the net. Like, and I really like Trossard. I think he's like for £27 million. I think there's a bargain. Like both feet he's strong on. Like he put the ball in the net. Saka to set the goal up. And we actually got up. We played an educated game away at Everton for once. I wasn't really worried about Everton when I was watching them, just because the only thing that was worrying me was because of like the record. So I thought, that's bound to happen. Like, it always goes wrong. But they didn't really offer much. Like Calvert-Lewin had a chance, and I think they're still trying to find it now. But one person I think played really, really well and went under the radar was Declan Rice again. He's bossing our midfield this season. Like, it's like he's been there forever, really. But yeah, I thought they all played well. Tomiyasu come on, done a bit of good stuff as well. And Arteta made the right subs, and then he put the reporter in his place as well. It was brilliant. Like what he said about the number ones, it was. I don't think the reporter knew what to say. So the question was, he said about so is David Raya the new number one now? And then Arteta said, so what number's Fabio Vieira? And then the report said, oh, I don't know, what's Fabio? We're talking about goalkeepers. He went, yeah, but you can only play with 11 players. He went, it doesn't matter. Like, I play with one goalkeeper. It doesn't matter if it's Raya or Ramsdale. And he has said that in certain games he'd thought about changing the goalkeepers. So maybe maybe he's going to try and revolutionise football.
Well,
he
if
said
it
in
works at
certain
the end of
games-
the day, you can't knock it if it works. And at the moment, Arsenal, they may not be playing well,
And
but like I say, that you're producing results.
I don't think he dropped Ramsdale. I know a lot of the media like to say, he didn't drop Ramsdale. Like I can see Ramsdale playing on Wednesday. It's just alternating, and I know this is a completely different. Like, we have the thing about Ramsdale, Raya, two number ones. Raya didn't really have to do nothing yesterday, so it was quite an easy game.
Don't think he even faced his shot on target, mate.
But what I will say is distribution was a lot better than Ramsdale's. That's one
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So I think Arteta just wants to have two players in each position, which it works for him at the minute. So I can't really say much else. I like it how Sky have got into this new thing of timing Arsenal's corner kicks. That was quite fun. They don't do it with any other team apart from Arsenal, but there you go. Until Walcott shut them up. But so good old Theo. I was really happy with the result. Like we played some really nice football last season, which I think everyone can admit. But we lost to teams like Everton away last season. So if
Get them out early.
it shows Arsenal can play like horrible and still get those wins. Like, we've got Spurs next. I think that'll be a really hard game, but an interesting one. Then we've got teams like Bournemouth. We've got a bit of a mixed match. So then City. So I think we've got Chelsea coming up as well. So yeah, if you said to me, was I happy with the result generally? Yeah. I just think Declan Rice has brought us to another level, really. But we're not. When that Arsenal team click, teams say about Man City ripping teams apart. Arsenal will do that as well. I'm not saying every week, but there'll be certain. Like when we have to play teams like Luton and that, that could be a bit embarrassing.
Okay, well, we'll get on to Abdi then. What are your thoughts on Arsenal? Like George said, not massively exciting football, but what matters is the key result.
I I didn't watch the game because I was just sort of still tapped out from football for the weekend. I was just like, yeah, everyone else can go screw themselves. But I did pay attention and keep an eye on the Arsenal game in the background. Look, you don't have to. I would say it many times. You don't have to win well to be a successful team. You just need to get the points on the board, and Arsenal are doing exactly what they need to do. Another 3 points at a dodgy ground for them. They don't really like it up north, so they just had to do what they had to do, and they've done exactly that. The offside, I've heard a lot of discourse about it. People saying, how can it be offside if it came off the Everton player? And the thing is, it came with the Everton player, yes, but he didn't go to play the ball deliberately or anything. It was literally just twatted at him. There's not much he could do about it. He wasn't attempting to block it or play it or anything. It was just smashed against him and it went towards Nketiah. So that's where it comes into the offside situation. But aside from that, Arsenal set piece specialist. Every time I see him on a set piece, that's how they got us. They're just good at set pieces. So yeah, fair play to Arsenal. They just collect those 3 points and move on. That's all they need to do. Collect and move on. Collect and move on. They got a big game Wednesday. I think they'll smash it. And they got another big game Sunday. And then they'll smash that. You keep on rolling. That's all they have to do.
And Everton's sticky situation, on the other hand, continues. Be interesting to see how they go. But yes, there we go. Thank you, chaps, for this, for the review show. Pretty good weekend of games and pretty good duration too. Now, we will be back hopefully later in the week for the preview show of a huge weekend of Premier League action. We'll hopefully be back on Thursday. In the meantime, obviously, we've got the Champions League games and
The
the
champions.
so there's plenty of football to go. But yes, we'll be back with you soon. So remember, if you watch this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, and definitely click that notification bell icon, because that will allow you to receive notifications. So as soon as we go live, you will get notified. You click on the notification and boom, the stream plays and you won't miss a minute of every show that we do, including you can watch our past content as well, including the pre-records, the Champions League draw review, the England squad review, which can argue a lot of our points that we made were justified, and of course many other shows in the meantime. Okay then, you can also follow us on at Golden Goal TV on the X Machine. We've got a Facebook group, we've got WhatsApp as well, where you can get in touch. The WhatsApp group, if you want to get in there, you can talk to us on our other social medias and we can get you involved. But yes, Abdi, my friend, where can people find you?
You can find me on the formerly deceased Bird app, at Abdullahi at A Abdullahi 26 at AABDULLAHI 26.
George Elon Musk Machine, where can people find you?
So you can find me at George AWFC or Georgie Boy Boom. Where else?
I do like that. I do like that.
And even on Facebook now, I've actually took over the Facebook stuff for the red and white for the women's side, and I am leading the first fan walk at the Emirates for the first women's game of the season. So,
Oh, my son.
That's excellent news. Fantastic. Hey, there we go. So yes, you can find me on at Hubert3001. That's HUBERT 3001 if you really want to, on the X Machine. So yes, thank you very much everyone for watching, and we will see you